I am the greatest. This is one of the most recognizable quotes in human history, said by a man fully confident in his ability. I am the greatest. Now, there are others too who are recognized as being great. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player. Roger Federer, one of the greatest tennis players. Meryl Streep, one of the greatest actresses. And William Shakespeare, perhaps the greatest writer of all time. But what is greatness? If we take a look at the people above, we see that greatness is based off of your talent, your influence, your ability to elevate yourself above everyone else. In fact, if we look at our society, we see that those who we usually aspire to be like often embody these ideals. Talented people inspire us, so we strive to be talented. We are attracted to beautiful people, so we, in turn, strive to be beautiful. We aim to learn from the success of the rich so that we ourselves can be rich. Even in church, as Christians, we feel like we need to elevate ourselves in order to be great in God. We say to ourselves, if only I were a pastor, a leader, a worship leader, if only I had talents, abilities, if I had gifts, maybe then that's when God will accept me. Now, these are perfectly normal aspirations to have, but as we build these stairs to reach higher, how much closer are we drawing to the heart of God? We put so much value on our social standing, but where do we stand in the kingdom of heaven? Tonight, the theme is Upward Falling, where we answer the question, what is greatness in the kingdom of heaven?
Hey, what's up? Has bus come yet? No, bro.
Oh, sweet. Fuck, I missed another class, man.
Oh, bro, did you hear about James?
What about him?
Bro, he made it into the Blues team.
Serious?
Yeah, man.
Fuck, that guy's fast, man. Fuck, he's got heaps of talent. Fuck, I wish I was like that guy, eh? Man, we used to be boys, eh?
All I can remember is him beating you up and taking your lunch.
Hey? Who said that? Right. We're boys, mate. We're boys.
If you really want to be like him, stop eating KFC, eh?
Oh, Wait. I'm going to the gym. I'm working out. Besides, it's bulking season.
Heard that one before.
Katie's coming. Here's coming. How do I look? How do I look?
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Hey, Katie. Wow. She is so beautiful. Wow.
Keep dreaming, mate.
What? You don't think I can get her?
No, she's out of your league, bro.
What's that?
Mate, one, you got no job.
Yeah?
Two, you got no car.
Yeah?
And her parents are balling, bro.
Whoa, hang on. Right? Give me some time. Give me a few years. Right? Okay, give me a job. Right? Then I'll be balling.
You really think that's going to make a difference?
Of course. Obviously, she wouldn't walk past me if I was rolling. Jeez. Besides, money makes the world go round, mate. Just like that fella over there. That fella?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's got some pretty nice shoes, eh? Yeah, nice suit. Bro, he must be loaded, eh?
Mm-hmm. New Audi. Oh,
Mate,
my gosh.
He's living the dream.
Yep. Well, listen, I'm going to be like that guy one day, you know? Nice suit. New car. Maybe not an Audi, you know, like a GDR or something, you know? But I'm going to have those things, you know? I'm going to have them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
First things first, you need to be rich to have those things, mate.
Mate, listen, I will be rich, all right? I'm going to climb that ladder. I'm going to be like those guys on TV, all right? You know? I don't want to be like, I want to be like someone, you know? I don't want to be, you know, I want to be someone who people look up to, you know? Like, I don't want to be like that guy over there, you know? Like,
The homeless guy?
Yeah, I don't want to end up like homeless and broke. You know, that guy's the lowest of lows, man.
Bro, he's even got no shoes, eh?
Yeah. It's because you can't afford them, bro.
Oh, bro, now that we're talking about it. Bro, I went to church the other day, eh?
Hey.
Yeah, they're talking about, you know, how we as people, what do you say? Oh yeah, we shouldn't judge by, you know, what people have.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, that sounds like church.
Yeah, and how,
Yep.
what was it? Bro, and there's something along the lines of, you know, Jesus wasn't rich in that, you know? He didn't have all the stuff we have today.
And?
And there's one more thing. Oh, he said Jesus was the most influential person in history.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
What I heard was that guy got knocked out, beaten up, and he hung on a cross.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the best part is, he rose again.
Oh, mate, you're on something. Oh, listen. Yeah, you're on something. Listen, all right? You want to be like Jesus? Be like Jesus. Me, I got greater plans, you know? Oh, the bus.
Hi, my name is James, and I'm a Christian, and here are 10 things that I love more than God. I love comfort, but sometimes the Bible makes me uncomfortable. So I just normally stick with the stuff that makes me feel good and avoid the stuff that I don't really like. Those verses are probably misinterpreted anyway. I love safety. Look, I may talk a big game about trusting God and everything, but when my safety's on the line, forget everything I said about a supreme being watching over me. Man, God is so good to me. I feel like He's blessed me for the past couple of weeks, and I can trust Him with anything.
Hey, give me your lunch.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Did you see how big He was? He could have snapped me in half. I love tradition. And the people that came before us were perfect. They had everything 100% right. So anything that breaks from their tradition is probably a huge mistake. I mean, if what we're doing conflicts with who God is and what He said, at least we're all doing it together, right? I love spiritual highs. I spend more time seeking that next spiritual rush than seeking God. And who can blame me? God is like that boring job that you have to keep going to put food on the table. But a spiritual high, that's like saving that money from that job and spending it on an amusement park. Personally, I wish I could ride roller coasters every day. Who needs that boring job? I just want the rush.
God, I need your help. I need a fixed bed.
Okay, I guess you're due. How about just the right song on Sunday morning?
No, I need something stronger.
Okay, alright, I think I have something a little better. How about last day of church camp?
That's better, but I need the strong stuff.
Need the good stuff?
Yeah.
Right, I'll give it to you. Missions trip.
Thank you, you supply all my needs.
I love control. And things that I can't control are scary. I make sure that I surround myself with people and things that I can manipulate. It's just safer that way.
Hi. I was asked to share a short testimony about how God is moving in my life tonight. But before I do that, let me introduce myself. My name's Caitlin, and I'm from the US, hence the accent, which the majority of the youth make fun of and try to mimic, but it never works. Growing up, I had two choices. I could either go down the same path my dad and my brother took of drugs and alcohol, or I could turn away and say no to that stuff. Thankfully, even when I didn't know who God was, He directed me to go the other way, to say no. He had His hand on me when I didn't know He existed, and He had a watchful eye on me at all times, waiting for me to come running to Him. It wasn't until I came to uni 3 years ago that I acknowledged who God was. I encountered what a true father's love and embrace was like, something that was foreign to me growing up, and I found hope, peace, and purpose in the Father. It's funny because at home, maybe it's the same here, I don't know, but if you know God before uni, you usually tend to wander away from Him when you enter uni. But for me, I was the complete opposite. I wandered right to Him. I went to college thinking I'd be drowned in my studies. Rather, I was drowned in a Father's love. When the question to study abroad to come to New Zealand was asked, I was all for it, until it sank in that it'd be 7,000 miles across an ocean, with no friends, no support, no home, and no church. It would just be me. I was thinking, what was I getting myself into? But now I know God was pulling me across an entire ocean to pull me closer to Him. I had to say no to the comfort of what I knew to say yes to what God has for me here. Through great sacrifice, leaving my friends and my family, the things I call home, the things I call mine, a place I call home, and through obedience to God and trusting in the one above, I stand before you now. While I have been here, God has placed friends in my life who influence, inspire, and encourage me to chase after God wholeheartedly. Being here, I've never felt the presence of God like I do now. And it was in this very room when I was crying out to God, I don't want this time being in New Zealand to be a season. And I heard Him reply loud and clear, it won't be. So instead of coming to New Zealand for a few months, I've made the decision to stay here and to call this place home. Just like when I was growing up, I had two choices, to say yes to the worldly ways or to say no. It's the same with God. We can say yes to what He has for us, His will be done and not ours, but that requires our full trust and obedience in God. Or we can say no and do our own thing. For me personally, I'm saying yes to what God has for me here. I may have no idea how it's going to happen, but there's a certain beauty in not knowing. He's brought me here, hasn't He? I'll leave you with this. Putting our full trust in God is like putting a blindfold on our eyes and letting God lead us. When we have the blindfold off, we see our dreams and our ways. But with the blindfold on, we can let God lead us to His dreams and His plans. So I dare you tonight to set down your ways and your dreams and put the blindfold on and let God take control. Thank you.
I love winning. I know it's all about fair play and having fun, but let's be honest, no one wants to lose.
Nana goes. He dribbles with the ball. He shoots.
No.
He scores. Goal!
You lost to a girl! I love staring at screens. If I'm not looking at my phone or my laptop or watching TV, I'm probably sleeping or I'm dead. I live for virtual reality, and I'm so pumped for the day that I can stop pretending that the real world actually matters to me. I love money. I know you're meant to be generous with money, but the bottom line is you have no guarantee of financial security. If you're giving it away, like it's not even yours to begin with.
Man, God has blessed me so financially over this past month. I don't even know what I've done to deserve it.
Excuse me. Do you have any spare change?
God helps those who help themselves. Beat it!
I love my significant other. God is great, but there are some things that He can't provide. And if I have to choose between my girlfriend or God, well, I'm going to have to go with the girl. Besides, I always make sure He's the focus.
God told me to break up with you.
But you told me.
His will be done.
I love food. God can't compete with the immediate satisfaction that I get when I eat a pizza or a hot chicken curry. This might be backwards, but that's why you pray over the garbage you're about to put into your body. See, it's more about your own conscience than it is about thanking God for the food. Father God, I know my body's a temple, but this is about to go down anyway.
Hey Jesus, thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Yeah, what do you have here?
Okay, so I have decided to give this to you.
Really?
Yeah, and I wanted to give it to you as a gift.
Because you know what this means, right?
I think so.
Because whoever sits on this chair is in control.
I know, right? And I'm always sitting here and I think, how did I end up in all these crazy places? And then it dawned on me, Like, duh, give it to Jesus, because he makes all the right decisions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I wanted to give it to you, as a gift.
Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna take a seat,
Sit down.
make some decisions.
And Jesus, whatever you say, that's what I'm gonna do.
Cool. If that's the way you want it.
That's exactly how I want it.
Hey, Hannah, I finally found you.
Hey, Caitlin.
Guess what? I've decided. Guess what I've decided?
What have you decided?
I'm gonna go watch 50 Shades of Grey tonight.
What, really?
Yeah, a group of friends and I are gonna go tonight.
Wait. I'm confused, because didn't your mum tell you you weren't allowed to watch that movie? Like, absolutely not? And doesn't it have all those shady scenes in there?
Yeah, you know my mom, she's like completely like against anything that's not Disney or animated. But you know, everybody's seen it, so like why can't I see it? I'll just deal with her later. So do you wanna come with me?
No.
No?
No, but why?
No, I mean, I don't know. I'll check my schedule, and then I'll call you later tonight.
Okay, so I might see you tonight then.
Maybe.
Okay, see ya.
See ya.
Hannah,
Yeah?
what's going on here?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm kind of one-cheeking it.
Oh! Jesus, that's so weird. I don't know what happened. You see, Caitlin came past and she asked me to go watch this movie. And then you said no. And that was a little strange.
Well, that was the right decision.
Right, but that decision didn't make any sense to me.
You did want me to sit here, right?
Yeah, of course.
And whoever sits on the chair is in control.
Yeah?
So what's the problem?
Well, I don't see what the problem was going with her. I mean, who cares?
Well, her mum said she couldn't go. And you know that movie has a lot of shady scenes. I mean, the title pretty much says it all.
So? That's just, like, not important.
Okay, just to check that we're on the same page, do you want me to sit on the seat or don't you?
Yes, I do. Sit down.
As long as you're sure.
I'm very sure.
Okay?
Just tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
Hey, Hannah.
Hey, James.
How's it going? I need your help.
Good.
Sure, I love to help.
Sweet. I was down at the restaurant this afternoon, and the vibes that I was getting from that place was kind of sad and lonely. So I was thinking about doing something nice to help them.
Aw, that's so nice of you.
Yeah, I was thinking about having a spa day at the rest home.
Oh, wow, you're going to take them all to the spa?
Oh, no, I can't afford that. I was going to bring the spa to them.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, I was thinking about getting some of my friends, getting them all together, and heading down to the rest home and putting a spa day on for them. We'll do their hair, we'll do their nails, because their nails are probably old and yellow and thick and ugh. And we'll even give them a massage to get all that flaky skin off their backs.
That's a very interesting idea you've got.
Yeah, I know. Can you help?
Yes.
No.
Hannah, you can.
No, I'm so sorry.
I didn't even tell you when I was going to do it.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What about next Sunday?
That'll work.
No, that's not going to work, because you see, on Sunday there's church and then there's nap time. And my favorite show's on at the moment. Gotta catch up on my episodes.
Well, I don't want it to interfere with any nap time.
Exactly.
So what about Wednesday?
Even better.
No. You see, it's June already, and it's just one thing after another. Lots going on.
Well, just call me when you're free then.
Sure. Ugh, my nails ain't touching that stuff. I mean,
Hannah.
ugh. Yeah?
This isn't working.
What? Why?
Well, you're sitting on the seat.
Oh. Jesus, that's so weird. I don't know what happened. James came past and he started talking about doing something nice for the ladies at the rest home. Then he started talking about yellow nails and flaky skin and... Oh, sorry, I just threw up again. Oh, that's disgusting.
And I said yes.
Yes, but here's where I'm going with this. That was completely the wrong decision to make. I mean, come on, I can't do those things.
Hannah, sometimes you're not going to agree with my decisions. You might not even like them, but you did want me to sit here, right?
Yeah?
Because we both can't sit here at the same time.
Jesus, I'm so sorry. I do want you to have it. It's just that I thought that your decisions would be a lot like my decisions.
No.
Well, okay, sit down. Come on.
Wait, just to double check, you're sure you want me to sit here?
I'm very sure. Come on, sit down.
Okay. So, let's talk about Ryan.
Oh, yay! I've been waiting for you to bring him up. Isn't he perfect?
Well,
He's tall and he's handsome. He takes beautiful selfies. He's got an awesome job, and his parents are loaded.
and he also loves himself more than he loves me.
Okay. So maybe he's a little vain, but deep down, he's a really nice guy.
Hannah, you're pursuing a relationship with someone who's leading you away from my plans. If you're not careful, he could lead you into trouble.
Jesus, that is so unfair.
Look, I know sometimes it's hard, but at some point you'll have to make a decision. You can't follow me and hold on to the world at the same time.
Yeah, but why can't your plan include this as well?
Hannah, this isn't working.
What? Why?
Do you want me to sit on the seat or don't you?
Yes, I gave it to you as a gift.
But you keep taking it back.
But I want you to have it. I want you to be in control.
Then give it to me.
Okay, here, take it.
You've got to let go.
Okay, just take it.
Hannah, make a choice.
I can't.
Matthew 10:39 reads, "Whoever finds their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for my sake will find it." In society, we put so much value on our social status because we think that if we strive to go higher, we will find our meaning, our purpose, and our happiness. We hold on to all of these things, but Jesus takes the towers that we've built and he tears them down. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who mourn, and blessed are the meek. Jesus isn't great because of his throne, his wealth, or his kingdom. Jesus is great because he traded in heaven to die for the least of us. He elevated the greatness of every individual. We were bought by the blood of a great king. Because of this, we don't have to elevate ourselves to find our value or our meaning. I trade my greatness for his greatness. My dreams for his dreams, my riches for the riches of heaven. Because I am more when I am less. I am rich when I give everything, and I am powerful when I am on my knees. Upward, falling.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Alicia. We're just getting set up to do an item. The song is called Touch the Sky, and it wraps up with Upward Falling. All about just giving everything back to him, and we're our greatest when we are in him. That's pretty much it. Yep.
Sorry.
What fortune lies beyond the stars?
got so high to fall so far, but I found heaven as love swept low. My heart beating, my soul breathing. I found my life when I laid it down, upward falling, spirit soaring. I touched the sky when my knees hit the ground. Treasure waits within your scars. This gift of freedom gold can't buy. I bought the world and sold my heart. You traded heaven to have me again. My heart beating, my soul breathing. I found my life when I laid it down, upward falling, spirit soaring. I touched the sky when my knees hit the ground. Find me here at your feet again. Everything I am, reaching out, I surrender. Sweep me up in your love again, and my soul will dance on your wings of forever. Sweep me here at your feet again. Everything I am, reaching out, I surrender. Come sweep me up in your love again, and my soul will dance on the wings of forever. Find me here at your feet again. Everything I am, reaching out, I surrender. Come sweep me up in your love again, and my soul will dance on the wings of forever. My heart beating, my soul breathing. I found my life when I laid it down, upward falling, spirit soaring. I touched the sky when my knees hit the. My heart beating, my soul breathing. I found my life when I laid it down, upward falling, spirit soaring. I touched the sky when my knees hit the. Find me here at your feet again. Everything I am, reaching out, I surrender. Come sweep me up in your love again, and my soul will dance on the wings of forever.
Evening, evening. How's it going? Good. Well, tonight is all about greatness. And so I want to share with you the greatest moment of my life so far, apart from finding Jesus, of course. And that was followed by the world record for being humbled by an overly confident guy. I'm the overly confident guy. So I just want to paint you a little mental picture tonight. The year is 2014, December 6th. It was a beautiful Saturday night. I had planned the greatest and most elaborate engagement of all time. that has ever been and possibly ever will come. Alicia had no idea it was coming, which was a bad thing because I knew she hated surprises. I had arranged for her to go out with Pastor Helen, making her think, or letting her think it was her idea the whole time when really I'd set it all up. Meanwhile, I'd found a spot that overlooked the water. There were candles spread across the table and surrounding area. Yeah, gets better. Fairy lights covering the trees. As she showed up, she found a box on the candle-filled table which contained 101 cards, each with a reason why I loved her printed on them. Yeah. It wasn't hard. As she read them, our song began playing from the car.
When your legs don't work like they used to before.
Yeah. I walked down the curving
And I
staircase
can't sweep you off of your
that was
feet.
behind her so she wouldn't see me coming. Fireworks were at the ready.
Will
For the
your
moment she
mouth
said
still
yes,
remember the taste of my love?
just to top off this magical moment.
Will your
I got
eyes
to the
still
bottom of the
smile
stairs, tapped her on the
from
shoulder. She turned, and while I was expecting her first words to be something like, "Oh my gosh," or "You're amazing," remember, she hates surprises. The first words out of her mouth were, "I hate you." And in my greatest moment, I felt somewhat deflated. But I pressed on, and we're getting married in January. At the start of tonight, you were asked a question: what is greatness? To some, greatness is found in success. When I have the right job, the right paycheck, the right title, then I'll be great. To others, it's found in possessions. When I have that car, that house, those shoes, then I'll be great. Even in church, we want greatness. When I can sing like the worship leader, preach like the pastor, or hear from God like those youth do on a Wednesday night, then I'll be great. See, we all want to be great in some way, and that's not a bad thing, but the problem is we all go about it the wrong, well, not all of us, but we go about it the wrong way. We don't seek greatness in the kingdom. Instead, we seek greatness in the world, and we strive for goals that when we get to them, ultimately leave us exhausted and unfulfilled. Like the skit earlier with the two boys waiting for the bus. We live our lives on ifs and whens. We say things like, when I finish uni, get a job, have money, find a wife, start a family, pay off the house, retire, then I'll be truly great. And we miss the fact that God is calling us to be great right here, right now. Greatness in the world is simply this: to look like I have it all together, to outdo, outthink, outwork everyone else so that others think I'm great. We get so busy seeking the approval of others that we forget whose approval is most important. To live a life that makes us great in the kingdom means to not seek a life that makes us great in the first place. Like the song we just heard says, I found my life when I laid it down. To find our lives, we first have to lose them. To be great in the kingdom is found when we're in a place of surrender, on our knees. Here I am, Lord, use me. So often we want the benefits, but are we willing to do what's needed to get there? Perhaps we find it so hard because to be great in the kingdom means to go totally against the culture of the world. To go up in the world means self-promotion, but to go up in the kingdom means to give a life of devotion. Greatness in the kingdom takes a shift in our thinking and day-to-day living. Jesus spoke many times of our need to die to self. He didn't mean self-control. He meant putting aside our ways and our mindsets and taking up his ways and his mindsets. It means a shift in our whole way of life. There's many ways we can do this, but I want to look at how taking on the mindset of Christ through sacrifice will shift us from a focus on greatness in the world to greatness in the kingdom. Greatness in the kingdom takes sacrifice on our part, and that shouldn't come as a surprise, but for some reason it does. We're happy to sacrifice our time, our money, for things like education or more awesome stuff. But you ask someone to come to prayer meeting or show up early on a Sunday and help, suddenly, I've had a long week, my back hurts, I've got a headache. In Luke 14, Jesus tells us that to follow him will come at a great cost. We must put God and his kingdom before everything else we do. So why then do we find it so hard to do? Because for most of us, we just don't think about it. But tonight is all about challenging and inspiring each one of us to be more than just spectators. It's time we put Jesus first in everything we do. Make the sacrifices needed to see God's kingdom be greater and our plans become second. So I want to look at 3 aspects of sacrifice that you can expect to come from seeking God's kingdom, because to be truly great requires great sacrifice. First of all, sacrifice means seeking first the kingdom. The Bible says to seek first the kingdom and your needs will be met in Matthew 6:33. The problem is often we confuse our needs with our wants, and we get disheartened when it doesn't happen. To be great in the kingdom, we first have to seek it. That means putting aside our own desires, our own wants, and our own gain. It means putting God's will before our own. In the skit we just saw, we saw someone struggling to give Jesus control of their life, because if we're honest, if we're really honest, letting life be out of our control is hard, and it takes a sacrifice. What I love about this church is that Pastor Tak always reminds us that it's the Holy Spirit who runs this place, not him. To have that kind of mindset doesn't come from simply deciding to do it one day. It means daily sacrificing our plans for plans that we wouldn't have chosen for ourselves necessarily. When we decide to let God have control and we seek first his kingdom, we actually end up better off than where we would have ended up on our own. We all want the result, but don't necessarily want to put the sacrifice in to get there. In my own life, I see the benefit of this every day. The only reason I'm here is because many years ago, I was seeking my own direction in life. I was studying to be a teacher, but I wasn't satisfied in it, and I had an overwhelming feeling that God was telling me it was wrong. Isn't it funny how we develop incredible prayer lives through times of great struggle? I felt like I should drop out and move back home. Everyone I knew told me not to do it. They were saying it was a stupid idea, it was only 1 year, just stick it out. Only one friend, my friend Mark, told me that if it was what I felt God was saying to do, then do it. And so I did. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be here, because when I moved back home, I randomly met Pastor Sam, who asked me if I wanted an intern at this place called Church Unlimited. And looking back, I see how God's kingdom and his plans, by seeking God's kingdom and his plans first, even though it took sacrifice, led me to where I was meant to be all along. I'm fulfilled, I have a purpose, I have an awesome fiance, and I see that God always knows what's best for us. It doesn't always make sense, but greater is the one who's in me than him who's in the world. Second, sacrifice means humbling ourselves. Humility is so much more than being well-mannered or avoiding arrogance. It's about humbling ourselves in such a way that our focus moves from us and is solely on Jesus. John the Baptist understood this in full when he said, "He must increase and I must decrease." When we realize that our actions and our speech, if wrapped in an attitude of humility, can direct people towards Jesus, it changes how we live our lives and how we treat people. Suddenly that beggar that you walk past every day isn't in our way, they're in our heart. Those kids who vandalize your property stop being a threat and start being your mission field. That prostitute that we see in the street that we used to look at with shame, we now only see with love. The sacrifice is that we have to put others before ourselves. Self-promotion becomes a thing of the past. And his promotion and his glory is all that matters. We do it so that others might know his name, his character, his love, and most of all, his salvation. We must become less so that he becomes more. Philippians 4, verse 4 to 8 says, "Let each one of you look out not only for your own interests, but also for the interests of others. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, who being in the form of God did not consider it robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, taking on the form of a servant and coming in the likeness of a man. And being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient even to the point of death on a cross. Jesus made the ultimate sacrifice of humility by literally giving up his position in heaven that he might come to serve mankind and be crucified so that we would have the ability to receive eternal life. If Jesus, the Son of God, was willing to do this, how much more should we be willing to sacrifice just to reach others? Your job title doesn't matter. The brand that's on your shoes is not important. What matters is your willingness to put the things that the world considers great behind you, humble yourself, and reach out to those who are in need. Finally, sacrifice means taking up your cross daily. Luke 9:23, Jesus says, "If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me." Jesus never said, "If anyone wants to follow me, take up your couch and have a seat." He kind of went the other way with that and not only told us that it would take sacrifice, but he set the bar pretty high on what it meant to be fully sold out to the cause. He calls us to daily put aside the desires and plans we might have for our own lives and take up the things that he's called us to do. And what does that look like? It might mean you need to sacrifice sleep to help friends in need. It might mean going without food for a day or two as you fast and pray for something to change in your situation. It might mean using that money that you work so hard for every week to help feed a family in need. Whatever it is, you can expect that you will have to deny your own desires and wants and pick up that cross and say, "Lord, I choose to follow you." And as you do that, you bring greatness to the kingdom of heaven. If we can just have the band back up, that would be awesome. Seeking the kingdom first, humbling ourselves, taking up our cross. What does it all mean to us right now? In Philippians 1:21, Paul puts it as simple as this: to live is Christ, and to die is gain. The point is that when we seek greatness, we aren't seeking it for ourselves, but the glory of God. When Jesus said that we must take up our cross and follow him, he wasn't speaking to the pastors and prophets. He was speaking to every single one of us. We're all called to do this. We're all called to show the world what it means to live as Christ. In your school, to live as Christ. In your university, to live as Christ. In your workplace, to live as Christ. In your home, in the mall, in that cafe, in the street, with your friends, at youth, at church, wherever you go, to live as Christ and to die as gain. Because to be truly great requires great sacrifice. If we could just have every eye closed, every head bow in this place. Tonight, if you're here and you're kind of, what is this guy talking about? I want to tell you that I serve a God tonight who loves you so much that he made the greatest sacrifice the world has ever known by sending his son to die on a cross for you. And he's calling you home tonight. And so what I want to do right now, if there's anyone in this place and you don't know Jesus, you've never responded to him, you've never said, "Lord, have my life, have your way in my life," and accepted him into your heart. Or tonight, if you're here and you haven't been at church for a long time, you've kind of backslidden, you're not really sure where you're at with God right now. If that's you tonight, wherever you're at, I just want to pray with you. I don't want to embarrass anyone. But it's important that you just come back to God. You come to God for the first time tonight. And so as I look around, if that's you in this place and you're just like, "Man, Matt, you're talking to me. I need God in my life." If that's you, wherever you are, just raise your hand right now. And I'll see it. And we'll pray for you in a second. So if that's you tonight, see that hand. Is anyone else? That hand. Awesome, you can put it down. Is anyone else tonight? You've got the courage to say yeah to Jesus. This is the greatest decision that you could ever make. Up in the balcony, anyone up there? You just need to make that decision. You need to come back to God tonight. On ground floor. Don't let this opportunity slip you by. You'll never regret this decision. I see that hand. Anyone else tonight? Take courage. Most of this room is praying for you right now. Anyone else? My last call. Don't miss this opportunity. All right. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to come down off this stage. If you put your hand up tonight, I just want to pray with you. And we want to get a Bible into your hands. So if you could start making your way forward. If you wanted to make that decision and you didn't put your hand up, you can still come. But why don't you just come? Why don't we all stand and just start welcoming those people up the front tonight?